a very frightening story tonight reported by the Financial Times that also supports a BBC report from a year ago. Russia reportedly plotted last year to plant bombs on US bound planes. In July 2024, DHL, it's a cargo company, DHL parcels exploded in logistics centers in the UK, Poland, and Germany. Each of these explosions was powerful enough to have brought down a cargo plane had they detonated on board while that plane was in the air. Security services would eventually trace the plot back to a group of Russian-directed saboteurs who had a further 6 kilograms of explosive material in their possession. That was enough to give them the capability for what security officials told the Financial Times was the next stage of the plan: to attack flights to the United States and cause more disruption to the airline industry than any act of terror since the World Trade Center attacks. It was just one near-miss incident in a co-coordinated and covert campaign of sabotage led by Moscow, officials believe, that has sown bewilderment across the continent and is steadily posing more of a risk to human lives. Russia has been conducting a campaign of terror against the rest of Europe for years. Assassinations, acts of sabotage. I mean, they've sent hit squads to any number of countries throughout Europe and have killed people, have killed Russians and have killed other people. But this particular story did not get the attention it merited from the BBC a year ago. This is from a year ago. This happened a year ago. A series of parcel fires targeting courier companies in Poland, Germany, and the UK were dry runs aimed at sabotaging flights to the United States and Canada. Someone who is of Polish descent, whose name I am not even going to begin to try to pronounce, revealed late last month that 4 people had been arrested and authorities across Europe were investigating the incident. These incidents. I never heard a word about this at the time. Western security officials have now told U.S. media they believe the fires, which happened in July, were part of an orchestrated campaign by Russia's military intelligence agency, the GRU. Russia denies being behind the acts of sabotage, but it is suspected to have been behind other attacks on warehouses and railway networks in EU member states this year, including Sweden and the Czech Republic. Here's why I never heard anything about this. The BBC released their story on November 5th, 2024, when we were all staring down the barrel of Donald Trump having just been reelected. Wow. And I'm sure Donald Trump will do literally nothing in response to this. Putin, Russia, the GRU planned to blow up planes bound for the United States. Now, if they were cargo planes, they wouldn't be full of passengers, but there would still be a crew. And I wonder when they plan to blow them up. Over the ocean or after they land, or after they entered US airspace. I mean, this is state-sponsored terrorism. This is a state-sponsored terrorist plot from Russia and Vladimir Putin and the GRU. And I am sure that if reporters question Donald Trump about it, he will attack them as being stupid and being terrible reporters. It's amazing to me how far up Putin's ass Donald Trump actually is.